Hi, this is Dr. Schweinsgruber from audioreview.org, coming to you from outside, and you know me very well. And I just would like to say a few things about the Blon BL-05 earphone. You see here 3 iterations. You see the original beta that goes back to 2019, end of 2019, I think. It contained a dynamic driver and a piezo, and it was shrill as a doorbell. No, it was not good. And several sort of beta or beta, whatever you call it in English, reviewers went back to the company and said, no, please don't. Okay. Next, somebody, I think it was somebody actually tuned this one. I think it was the Hawaiian Back Boy or some boy from Hawaii. I think he tuned that, and it is now, the piezo was removed and it only now contains a dynamic driver. It still doesn't do it for me. It's too, I don't know, it's just too forward. On audio reviews, we have a couple of reviews and the reviewers actually liked it, but I prefer very much this squeaky green one. Now, first of all, I was not that impressed by it. Not impressed by the color, not impressed by the shape. None of these. I really didn't think we needed it. We had the Blon BL-03, which is a good earphone for around $30 to $40, which sold, people say 300,000 times. I would rather say 300 times, doesn't matter. But it was a decent earphone, came out of nowhere, and it was a surprise. Again, with the BL-03, I was lukewarm initially until I got that thing going, because what Blon does is they need it for acoustic reasons. They have very, very, very short nozzles. Any of the earphones have short nozzles. You see that, very, very, very short, and for Western ear canals like mine are really big, and you see when you look at this ear tip, it's very big. That doesn't really fit. And so they included, first of all, in all of these models, the included cable was rubbish, and the ear tips didn't work for me, not in the BL-03 or in the BL-05. And so I used Azlas SednaEarfit tips, which are as robust as a toilet plunger. I have to say that that may be a really weird comparison, but they're extremely robust ear tips. And what they do is, what's so special about them is they are long stemmed. You see long stemmed white bores. You see how that inner stem sticks out, and that's exactly what you need for a short nozzle. And it's the only ones on the market. You don't find these, so they're very unique. Azlas SednaEarfits, this kind, there's several kinds, but this standard kind works very well also for the Blon BL-03. Now, I really don't like product placement, but Azlas sent me all these monstrous amount of tips. And what's a little bit odd is that they have size L. You find some size L, and they have size ML. And the classic size L would be 13.5 millimeters, 13.5 millimeters in diameter, and their ML, so medium large, are 13.3 millimeter, and their large ones are 14 millimeters. So the real world large ones are in between the two sizes, and that creates a selection problem. For me, it's the 14 millimeter ones, the L ones, that fit very well. Yeah. Anyway, now Azlas. Why Azlas? What do? The Azlas, they are not a universal cure or medicine. Neither are the what's the competitor, SpinFits or any of these other ones. You know, Larry wrote this big compendium of ear tips, which I link to underneath here. One of our most read blog posts and articles. But the Azlas work very, very, very well with, for me, with these short nozzled Blon BL-05. Again, it's not a universal cure. Azla, these just feel a special niche, these Azlas, in that they're long-stemmed white bores, and they're actually very, very, very useful in some cases, and they are not useful in other cases. As a rule of thumb, they appear to increase bass, which they don't. They just tighten up the bass. They make the bass hard as a rock. So if you have a loose bass, try Azlas SednaEarfits. SpinFits are different. They're narrow bores. They do something totally different, and you should have all of these ear tips, at least in small amounts, in your box, in your ear tips box, because and then when you do tip rolling, Azlas are just one of many, and they're a great product, and they're out of Korea. Anyway, let's just go back to our Blon BL-05. Now, what do they sound like? They, with these ear tips, they have a very, very compact and solid bass, and everything is based on this solid bass, and the bass is the star of this earphone, and it's very pleasant, and the whole imaging, the whole sound is very compact. These earphones are, strictly speaking, nothing special for audiophiles. They don't have super large headroom, they don't have a super large stage, and the graph looks absolutely awful. It looks so awful that I didn't even wanna show it to you, because it's got a classic V shape, a huge butt and a huge neck at the upper mid-range, but you don't really hear it. It sounds actually nice because one cancels the other out. It's actually really well done. And to me, these earphones are very soothing, very pleasant. It's very subjective, but I use them for a long time and I really like them. And I think Larry Fulton, you know, the coffee guy, he likes them too. What can we do? Objectively said, nah, nothing special, but I still like them a lot. Then the other thing what people don't like is that squeaky green. Now, I don't know, this is a beta. Maybe it doesn't come as a squeaky green in the final iteration, but the good thing is I find them in my backpack. I don't, you know, the other ones here, this one is nondescript. You don't even see it in the camera. This one I find in my backpack. And the shape also, they really fit very nicely. They fit very, very snug in my ears, and they're very small. They're much smaller than the, let's say, FIO FD1 or FH1S. These are very small, so they're very comfy. You can use them in bed. Detail resolution, all that stuff is okay. It's nothing to write home about. It's just a really good $50, $60 earphone, and I absolutely like them. And as I said, this is subjective, and this is not a real review, and this is only a beta. But I have no idea when the actual Mark II will be coming out. I don't like when companies bring out one, people don't like it, and they bring out another one soon after, and they penalize the early adopters. Apple did it with their first iPhone differently. They just lowered the price, I think, and they bring out new models, and they PO their faithful customers. So I don't like that. That's not good what Blon does. But maybe they should just think these, or work out these models much better, think them out better, and then release them. Anyway, I hope the Mark II will be good. If you have the Mark I, you don't need it. You just do the tape mod as described by Larry. And other than that, I'm out of here. Again, Azlas, tons of them. We don't do product placing, we don't do advertisement, but Ashuli from Azla has been really nice to us, and I've had these for probably almost a year now, and haven't done anything with them, and I will do a review of these Azlas. Anyway, Azlas SednaEarfit and Blon BL-05 Mark II, a great marriage. I'm Dr. Schweinsgruber. This is Calgary Calling.